Guys, before I start, I kind of want to talk about something because, okay, so I was up at 2 in the morning and I made a funny video. Like, even in my caption, it said, guys, this is just for laughs. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you should not be on social media. And then I kind of like put a little thing that said, shout out to my 3K subs on YouTube. Like, I was making fun of myself. It was funny. And for the most part, everybody else thought it was funny too, or they're just like, oh, don't worry, like you'll get subs on YouTube soon. It's gonna take some time. And obviously I know that. Like, I know. I was just making fun of myself. And let me show you the video so that you guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna put her name on here because for all I know, I could be reading this wrong. You know, a lot of things can get lost in translation when you are commenting or messaging someone. But yeah, I'm not gonna put her name on here. But let me read you the comment. And I've been thinking about this all night. Like, I went to bed and I'm just like, what? Okay, so she left a comment saying, because you're trying to make it personal account content and we don't want that. We want scary stories. Like, it was almost like she was telling me, shut up and just read scary stories because that's what I'm here for. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you, that is why you are in my TikTok and my YouTube and my Instagram, because you guys enjoy scary stories. However, like, how is that not me? How is that not me? How is that not my personal account? That's what I want to know. Because what? Like, that's what's getting me so annoyed, because now it's like, well, excuse me, I don't want to read my stories for you then. Like, I could easily block her. I could. But I'm not like that. It was just like, why do people do that? That's so crazy. Like, even if you are just following me so that you can listen to the scary stuff and don't necessarily like me, like, why would people say that? That's like, who does that? That's so rude. I'm a human, okay? I have feelings. I'm not a freaking robot online that's like, I'm gonna read scary stories. Here I go. I have no brain or personality. This isn't my content. Anyway, that's why I was like, what is going on? Like, why would someone say that? That's so rude. How is my TikTok not my personal account content? Why? See, this is what happens with a person like me. I am an overthinker. I think about littlest thing so much that it overtakes me. And I need to let it go, right? Because, like, no, she's wrong. She's wrong. I'm a bad. Y'all know what I said. It is my account and people like me and they like me to read them. And you know what? You go read your own scary stories. I'm not gonna read them for you anymore. For the girl, not everybody else. I almost want to block her, but like, it'd be petty, because why would I block her if all she said was her opinion? And maybe she's right. Maybe people only like me for the scary stories. But my point was that my TikTok is my account. It is not yours, okay? I started reading your scary stories and you guys have allowed me to read them, but that is my account, my stuff, not yours. You cannot tell me that is not my personal account content. I actually feel a lot better now that I've talked to, well, I guess you can say I've talked to myself about it because I'm talking to the camera, but I feel like I've let it all out. I feel good. Maybe I should do this more often. Every time I get pissed, I'm just gonna turn the camera on like. So, to the girl who said this, if you're watching this, hello, I'm Letty. My TikTok is Letty Loves You. That is my personal account content. So is my YouTube and so is my Instagram. So maybe don't say that to anybody else because that could be hurtful. I mean, imagine if you say that to like a teenager or a little kid, like they would probably feel so hurt. Like they would probably be so sad. But I'm a 30-year-old, so go read your own scary stories, okay? Bye. Now, let's begin reading your scary stories. I am a robot. I'm going to read your scary stories. Okay guys, so today I'm going to be reading, I think like 5 or 6 stories, like 5 or 6 from TikTok, 5 or 6 from Instagram, and 5 or 6 left in my YouTube comment section. So if your story's not on here, I'm so sorry. I will definitely be making more videos because I'm a robot apparently. Okay, stop. Are y'all ever your own worst enemy? Because same. Okay guys, so this first story comes from ashley.j.t. Hey, here's a story that happened to me. I was watching my show during the night, and once the episode finished, I decided to go to sleep. A few minutes later, I had a feeling someone or something was watching me. I checked my phone first, and it was 3:36 a.m. Then I looked up and saw something was watching me. It had some deer ears on its head. It was wearing a long black coat, and it was tall, and it had a skull in its hand. Once I saw it, I hid under my covers and fell asleep. Later on that week, I had a sleepover with my best friend. I stayed up the longest, and my friend went to sleep as well as the rest of her family. Soon enough, I fell asleep too. I heard a noise and I woke up. I saw a figure, the same figure that I saw last time, but this time it was holding a long knife. I didn't know if I was dreaming because once I blinked, it disappeared. I fell asleep in horror. When it was the morning, I told my friend and she was shook. But then I realized if the figure was in our house, then how come her dog didn't bark at all? Till this day, I haven't seen the figure again. This happened a month ago, by the way. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Okay guys, this next story is from KBell1791. I guess I have somewhat of a story. If you don't use it, that's fine. I was pregnant with my now 5-year-old daughter. I was at my mom's house. I was dead asleep and woke up, looked at the end of the bed, and there was a black shadow of a man laying at the end of my bed, staring back at me. I closed my eyes and opened them again, and the figure was gone. I didn't stay alone in that house for over a year after that. I was scared. We have been told that a man hung himself in my old bedroom at my mom's where this happened at. We also had another incident in the same house about a year ago. My 2 chihuahuas would not walk past the doorway that leads into the kitchen. They kept looking up like someone was there and started barking like crazy. And all at once, it was like someone grabbed one of my chihuahuas and threw her through the doorway. She slid all the way through the kitchen. That day, I packed my dogs up and got a preacher to come bless the house. Ever since then, we hadn't had any problems. The poor dog. Oh, wait, I feel like I've heard that animals can see things. Creepy. Okay, guys, this next story is from Haley. When I was 2 to 3, I was in my room alone, but the door was cracked open. I was talking to someone, but again, there was no one in the room with me. My mom heard me, so she peeked in and said, "Who are you talking to?" I replied, "My friend." I gave a description of a young man. That later found out was a description of my cousin that lived in the house before us, and he died at age 18. I don't remember this, but my mom told me about it. That's like kind of sweet and like creepy at the same time. Okay guys, so this next story is from Mr. Happy Vibes. I need some happy vibes right now, okay? One time, I was about 5 to 6 years old. There was a tornado watch and we were in Kohl's. Oh, that's a story. In a Kohl's. And we went home immediately at the time. I was living with my grandma, so the house was really old, you know? Like 40 years old, and the floorboards and stairboards would always creak. And my grandpa lives there too. He was really old, I think, 83. And that night, the tornado watch was over and my grandma was in my auntie's house. And my grandpa was there, but he's always asleep. So I'm in my room, you know? I hear the boards creak and I hear footsteps. So I shut my room door and I hear whatever the thing was walking up the stairs saying, "I'm coming, don't worry," in a demonic voice. Oh my god. Wait, I need to know what happened after this. Leave a comment. Tell us what happened after this because that's creepy as hell. Okay guys, so this next story is from Slitlali Fernanda. Hey, I would like to tell you something that happened to me when I was little. So my mom was depressed in that time, and she was laying down. I was like 6 or 7 and watching TV in the living room. It was only 2 of us, my mom and I. As I turn around, I see someone poke their head out. To be honest, it was dark in our house and I didn't have my glasses at the time. It happened like 3 times, so I went to my mom's room and poked my head out as well and told my mom, "I see you poking your head out." She now told me that she only said, "Oh, you caught me," to not scare me. Until this point now that I am 13, I still see things like that. Okay guys, so this next story is from Instagram and it's from Siggy_Thidwall. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm so sorry. So I guess I was around 9 years old and my sister was around 13. My sister and I was sleeping in my room that night. Before we went to bed, my sister said she was going to the toilet. I said, "Hurry up then," because I was scared of the classic monster under my bed. Anyways, I laid down waiting for my sister to come back. After a minute, I could feel someone lay down next to me. I couldn't breathe at all or move. My sister opened the door so fast, I peed on myself. My mom changed the bedding and I went for a shower. I didn't tell someone because I was afraid to. Anyway, we laid down in my bed. After maybe about 10 minutes, I was so close to sleep and my sister was sleeping. Later that night, I could hear knocks on the wall and whispers. I will never forget that night. Okay guys, so this next story is from Taylor_A34. Hey girl, I just saw the scary things kids say on TikTok and I have a story to relate. Tried messaging on TikTok, but it wasn't working. Sorry. So when I was like 13 or 14, possibly younger, but I'm not sure, I was babysitting my little brother, 4 or 5, and my baby sister, 2 to 3. Little brother was sleeping or watching TV, I believe, and I usually let them hang out and go wherever they want and I'll clean after them. We have a house where we can see everything from the living room and the kids can't get lost or anything. You can easily go into the hallway to see them in any of the rooms. Well, my parents weren't home and wouldn't be until well after midnight, so around 8 to 9:30 p.m. I decided to make the kids a snack since they don't really eat at that age, and more so snack over the day. I took a break and sat down. While doing so, my then baby sister, who was pretty much a toddler still, came and patted my shoulder and said, "Alyssa, come here," and she looked sad and scared. I got worried. I got up off the floor. I sat on the floor. I don't know why. And followed her down the hall to what was then my parents' office space. She grabs my hand and points into the dark room and says, "Someone called me from Tina's room and said, 'Naya, come here.'" The room was pitch black. I'm sorry guys. Just to let you know, I'm like starting to feel super anxious, like anxiety, but like your story is really helping me when you leave like these little funny comments on there. So thank you, Taylor. Wait, is it Taylor or Alyssa? Thank you, Alyssa or Taylor or both. Growing up, we avoided that room. Now keep in mind, my parents are very strong in our Christian beliefs and we never watched scary movies at all and always avoided such topics since my siblings were so small and sensitive. So for her to say that as small as she was, terrifying, since she wouldn't know much about things that go bump in the night. Also, we were alone and would be for the next few hours because the kids will likely not go to sleep, and this meant I would be up too, thinking about what my little sister said. Well, here's a little backstory of why this scared me. When my older sister lived at home with us, the office was her room, and she has a story about it. The one and only story she told me was that when she was living with us, she woke up in the middle of the night to see a tall man, woman thing, with curly wavy hair to the shoulders and yellow eyes standing in the corner of the room staring at her and watching her. She ignored it even though she was scared and went back to sleep. My younger sibling never knew and still doesn't know to this day what our older sister had experienced in that room. I still don't know everything, but I do know I have seen something similar for myself some years later. Only this time it was in the hallway going to the shared bathroom across the room. I don't remember my little sister ever saying anything afterwards or what I really did after she told me, but I remember feeling so scared. My little sister doesn't remember this at all. We're all mostly grown up now and still live in the same house. We've never had other experiences and I'm so glad we didn't. But yeah, that's one of the things my baby sister said that scared me so bad. Well, anyways, have a great day. Bye. Sorry for any misspelling or punctuation error. Can't even talk, girl. It's okay. Okay, so this next story is from nyc.caden_. So when I was 8 to 12 years old, I would have these dreams of this gorilla man that would appear randomly. Other times he would appear over my bed as I couldn't move at all. He seemed nice at first, but sometimes he would get angry at me. He tickled me, and if I laughed, he would tickle me for, sorry, do not tickle me because I will kick you. He tickled me, and if I laughed, he would tickle me for a longer period of time. He would also hit me, and when I woke up, I would still be able to feel the pain. Later on, when I got older, I noticed that I was having sleep paralysis almost every night. A few months later, I moved out of that house, and it never happened again, which is why I believe that house was haunted or something, and the only person I've ever told this to was my older brother. Also, when I was about 10, we had this box-like TV, and in the middle of the night, there was these little children holding hands and dancing all over the screen. I told my mom, and when she came, they stopped. She left, and it happened again, so she put a sheet over the TV. We got a new TV a few months after, and it never happened again, as per usual. Okay, so this one is from Lauren. Hey Letty, I don't know if you're still doing these, but here goes nothing. One night when I was 4, I got my dolls ready for bed. Girl, they're dolls. No, thank you. Okay. I set them down next to me in bed. I always slept with my dog Ella. Suddenly, Ella started growling and barking at the dolls. It was around 2 a.m. When I looked over my shoulder to check if everything was okay, the dolls weren't there. They were on the other side of the room, on the floor. I swiftly picked them up and put them back. When I woke up, the dolls were in the trash. I asked my mom why they were in the trash. She said they had human teeth on them. Okay, guys, this next story is from Kayla. Hi, I just recently started watching your videos on TikTok and made my way to YouTube. Thank you. So I have a story. When I was around 5 to 6, my mom was tucking me in, and even though it was dark, she could see me looking at the corner of the ceiling. She asked, "Honey, what are you looking at?" I didn't answer, so she said once again, "Hey, what are you looking at?" And I just looked at her and grinned and replied with, "He's watching me, Mom." We got out of that house in less than 2 weeks later. I hope you see this. I love you. I love you too. But I do not love this story because it makes me not want to have kids anymore. Guys, we've made it to the YouTube. What the frick just passed by? Oh, no. I'm home alone. This cannot happen. Oh, God. We've made it to the YouTube scary stories. Let's get started. Okay, so this story is from Kotia Shawl. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Kotia. That's so cute. I like that. Or is it pronounced differently? I'm sorry. Okay. So a lot of creepy things have happened to me. So first one is I woke up about an hour ago, was having trouble sleeping, and a little boy stood in front of my bed. At first I thought it was my little brother, but he disappeared. It still creeped out from that. 2, I woke up and saw a black shadow staring at me, and I was very creeped out, but it ran off as soon as I noticed him. I told my family and they didn't believe me. 3, girl, I had no idea there's 4 stories in here. 3, when my grandpa just died, my niece talked to him while they were young. 4, I hear things and feel things a lot, and it sometimes makes it hard to sleep. I might tell more, but not now. There's more? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Like, to people who have never experienced paranormal things, especially at nighttime when you're trying to go to sleep, you literally will not fall asleep. You will stay up all night until the light comes out, and as soon as you get that hint of daylight, you're like, this is the only opportunity I have to sleep. And by that time, you're talking about like 2 to 3 hours. So it literally drives you crazy. You're tired. It's a lot, and I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm already gonna tell you that I'm about to butcher your name, but I'm gonna try anyways because mama didn't raise a quitter, okay? This story is from Bakugao Katsuki. Please tell me I'm saying that right. Bakugao Katsuki. That's so cute though. Bakugao Katsuki. Yeah. I'm feeling it. That has to be it, right? I said it right. The story isn't really that creepy, I guess. You're lying and you know it. But it freaked me out. When we first moved into the current house, it was a weird smell, at least that's what I thought. A few years later, my bed was moved to where I could see out of my bedroom door. This is where I first saw him. I call him the Red Man. He is a very tall, so tall he almost hits the ceiling, red shadow that walks around the house. He likes to stop in front of my door and just watch and look around my room. After a few years, he stopping in front of my room, and now I've started getting into witchcraft. Now, my AC is in my room has started acting weird and it's been really hot in there, so I've been sleeping in the living room. One night, I was listening to music and shuffling cards because I was bored. Then I turned around there. Why am I getting so ahead of myself? When I turned around, there was a man, well built, and he had a white ripped shirt on. He was just standing there watching me. I fell back onto the couch and he disappeared. I've always felt someone watching me and a presence around me at night, and I love the nighttime, but since I've started seeing more and more shadows, I've developed a fear of the dark. And the worst part is, we have my grandmother's ashes in the living room. I don't know what's in the house, but there is more than one and they love to tease and scare me. I'm so sorry. That sounds so scary. This next story is from Only Ellie. This sounds so familiar. I think I'm following you here on YouTube because I believe that you're also you're reading scary stories, right? I hope this is you. If not, I'm so sorry. I'm confusing you with somebody else. Guys, if this is her, that means that she also reads scary stories in her YouTube channel. If you want to go check it out, I am leaving her name when I attach the picture here. It's Only Ellie. I hope I'm saying that right. I've watched the first 2 videos that she posted. One was just an intro video, but the second one, she read a couple of scary videos and I love her accent. You should definitely check her out. If this isn't her, I will post the person that I'm talking about right here because she deserves to get views. She's doing it. It's really good. I took a little break to go check and make sure it was you, and it is! Guys, go look at her YouTube channel. She also has a video reading scary stories. Her accent is amazing. Just saying. When I was younger, I was in the bath. My bathroom is in the middle of the living room and my mom's room. So I was about 4 when this happened. I was just vibing with my toys. Then I see a shadow go across the living room into my mom's room. So I shout out to my mom and say, "Which room are you in?" And in my horror, she says, "Living room." A few weeks later, we get the ghost people in and they say there was an old woman in the house watching me. So much other scary stuff had happened in my house too. So we definitely know there's ghosts around. Love you. Oh my gosh, wait, you should make a YouTube video of all your stories because I want to hear that. And also creepy. Do you still live in that house? Wait, did she say that? I think she does. Oh, no. Okay, this next story is from either Fiend or Feeny Bart. I also have a story. When I was little, I often want to sleep with my grandmother and grandfather. My cousins were there too. One night, my cousin went to the toilet and I woke up. We were sleeping in the same room. Just then, I felt someone tickle my feet. I thought it was just my cousin. The next morning, I asked, "Why did you do that?" And she knew nothing. I kept asking, but she really didn't know something. That's what she said. I still don't know who or what did that, so yeah. Do not touch me. Okay, guys, so this next story is from Nicole. Okay, so I'll start at the beginning when it all started. This is true. So when I was younger, about 1 year old, I used to always hear people calling my name. So I would always wake up crying and telling my mommy that they won't go away. So that's when it started. So a couple of years later, when I was about 4, my older sister, they have different dads, and he died, mind you. I was 4 and never knew his name or had never seen a picture of him or what he looked like. So I was in the room and one of my older sisters had their own house and one I shared a room with. So I was in bed sleeping with my sister in the opposite, and it was dark, maybe about 3 in the morning, and she was sleeping. I see a man touching my sister's new school uniform, smiling and watching her. She was going into big school the next day. I saw him looking over her, touching her uniform and all that. The next morning, I wake up and tell her that a man was watching her sleep and was touching her uniform. She was really creeped out and thought I was making up stuff, so kind of shrugged it off. Anyway, a couple of nights later, I was in my other big sister's house and I'd seen a picture of the man. I pointed him out to her and told her that he was in the room watching my sister sleep. She then told me that was her dead dad. Another time, we were on holiday. I was 4. We were sitting and a woman turns around to my mom and says, "Does she hear people?" My mother said yes. Then she explained that she was a psychic and told me that I had a gift of talking to the people that have passed. And she told me if they bother me to just tell them to go away. That's so cool, but also like a little creepy at the same time. They're just one of many stories that I have. I hope you see this and feature me, and would you'd like me to tell the rest of my stories that have happened. Also, I love you, girl. Yeah, of course, please, because wow, this is so interesting. I feel like if I can talk to people that have passed, I would be scared. Okay, guys, we've made it to the last story. Last but not least, okay? So this is from Axel Escarcega. Axel Escarcega. I'm just trying to say it in Spanish. Okay. So my grandma's house used to be a cemetery, but they had built a neighborhood around the 1940s. My mom told me that when she was younger, her and her siblings were alone and all said, if anyone is there, knock 3 times. And then they heard knocking. And around, I think a year ago, my cousin was in the 2nd floor of the house where my aunt used to live. He had said a shadow and, he had seen a shadow and it wasn't his. He ran down the stairs as fast as he could. We haven't experienced anything like that, but when I was younger, I didn't know with these stories, but it still got creepy feeling. I still feel scared in 2020. Oh my gosh, you guys still live in that house? Oh no. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like those houses where you see on like Ghost Adventures where they go and like investigate. Like, you know, those very like old but beautiful houses that are haunted AF. Okay guys, so we have reached the end of the video. I just want to say thank you to whoever watched this video and very obviously letting me vent, like if you had a choice. But I want to be honest with you guys, like I don't want to fake happy. I don't want to come on here and pretend like, oh, I'm all rainbows and butterflies. I'm not happy all the time. Most of the time, yeah. But there's things that bother me, and I feel like if I say them to you or if I address them, I can just let it out and just let it be what it is, and that's it. Again, thank you so much for following me here on YouTube, following me on TikTok, following me on Instagram. You guys are the best. I really, truly love your support. Thank you so much, and I love you guys. Bye.